So you want to open a US LLC, maybe you want a US bank account, or maybe you just want your company to look more professional, maybe even get US credit cards to earn points on all your expenses, Chase, Amex, whatever your reason is. Setting up an LLC is one of the smartest moves you can make as a digital nomad and online entrepreneur. And with an LLC, you get protection from lawsuits, access to US bank accounts, credit cards, and yes, the chance to legally pay 0% tax. The opportunities are really, really exciting. Now I know you probably have a bunch of questions. We get asked the same ones all the time, like how long does it take to set up? What do you need to get started? How much does it cost? How do you open bank accounts? How do you invoice clients? Do you have to pay taxes? And should you incorporate in Wyoming or Delaware? That's a lot to cover, so let's start with the basics. How fast can you have your LLC set up when you work with us? At Global Freedom Solutions, we get your LLC fully set up in less than 48 hours, usually within 2 days, and we aim for same-day filing and move really fast. And in fact, some of our clients have been fully incorporated in as little as 12 hours. And most of the time, it's done the same day you make your investment, so all the paperwork completed, registered agent secured, and your LLC officially incorporated in the state. Now you might be wondering what you actually need to get started. It's really simple, just 5 things. Number 1, the name you want for your company. Number 2, a photo of your passport or any other government issued ID. Number 3, an address. It can be essentially anywhere in the world. Number 4, your email. And number 5, the state where you want to incorporate. So that's it. Once we have those, we can get your LLC up and running without any problems. And about the last one, maybe you are asking yourself Wyoming or Delaware, which is better? And the short answer is it doesn't really matter. Both have 0% corporate tax, but Wyoming does offer a bit more privacy since your name won't be publicly listed. And we usually recommend Wyoming for that reason, but honestly, both are really great options. Just pick one, Wyoming or Delaware, and let's get started. If you are not sure, we usually recommend Wyoming. And yes, in case you are wondering, we incorporate in many other states too, not just those two. Now let's talk about the investment. It's a one-time payment of less than 2,000 USD, and that covers way more than just the incorporation. You get full support for an entire year. That means we don't just set up your company and leave you hanging. We are there for you when questions come up, whether it's about taxes, visa, banking, credit building, tax filings, you name it. We handle all mandatory filings for you, and we can also help you build credit in the US. Essentially, we are your one-stop solution and at a very reasonable price. And the best part, from year 2 onward, ongoing support and maintenance cost less than 1,000 USD per year, way below what most others charge, and this also includes all costs for the maintenance of the company. Depending on your chosen state, the price might vary slightly, maybe $100 here or there, but for Wyoming and Delaware, you are looking at the same base price. And once you have made your payment and shared the required info and documents, we take care of everything for you. First, we incorporate your company, then we apply for your EIN, the so-called employer identification number. And here's the key part: we are able to get EINs for non-US residents significantly faster than average, and usually within 1 to 3 weeks, depending on the IRS backlog, and sometimes even within just a few days. And this EIN is what you will need to open bank accounts, and yes, we will help you with that too. Now, a question we get all the time: what about the bank accounts? Can I open them remotely? The answer is absolutely. You can open US bank accounts completely online with platforms like Mercury, Wise, Revolut, Relay, AirWallet, and others. But here's the thing: a lot of people make a crucial mistake. They use a registered agent's address, so the address where the company is officially registered as a business actual operating address. So never do that. That one small error can get your entire application rejected. We have seen it happen far too often. So someone forms a LLC, expects to start receiving payments, and then gets stuck because their bank account can't be opened, and that won't be happen to you if you work with us. We give you clear step-by-step guidance on how to open your bank accounts properly, what to do, what not to do, and how to avoid common traps. So you will have the highest chance of getting approved, and you won't run into any problems down the line. Now, what if you are thinking about getting approved for US credit cards and stacking up hundreds of thousands thousands of points. Well, the US easily has the best credit card ecosystem in the world, and many cards offer huge welcome bonuses, and we are talking here about 100,000 points or more, which can cover 1 or even 2 business class flights. And on top of that, you get great cashback rates and high multipliers for categories like travel, dining or business expensive. But to build a solid US credit score quickly and get access to the really good cards, you need the right strategy, and you also need to meet a few key requirements. And that's essentially where we come in. We guide you step by step so you know exactly what to do and how to do it, from your first card to building a strong credit profile that opens serious doors. And when it comes to banking, security obviously plays a big role too. That's why we always say don't just rely on virtual banks like Mercury, even though they are great. Make sure you also have strong backup accounts with banks that are too big to fail, like Chase, Bank of America or even Amex. And yes, even as a non-US citizen, you can open accounts at these banks. All you need to do is show up in person at a branch in the US, and to do that you will need an ITIN, and yes, we can get that for you too. And the great part, we will help you open these accounts in person, so you don't just get more security, you also start building a personal relationship with a banker, and that relationship can help you qualify for premium credit cards more easily. Now, once your bank accounts are open, the next question usually is, how do I invoice clients from my US LLC? Well, here's the great news. Many US banks like Mercury offer integrations with invoicing tools, and the same goes for payment processors like Stripe, PayPal or Square. All you need to do is set up an account, select your company type as an LLC, upload your EIN document, and in the case of PayPal, also your ITIN, link your bank account, and you are ready to go. It's honestly a 5-minute process, so something you could easily delegate your assistant at this point. So by now we have covered how fast we incorporate your US LLC, what we need from you, whether to choose Wyoming or Delaware, the full investment, how to open your bank accounts both online and in person, and how to invoice clients and process payments from your US company. Now let's answer the big one. Do I need to pay taxes in the US on the money going through my US LLC? And if you know us, you know we hate taxes, and unless you are a US citizen, the answer is no. So a US LLC doesn't pay tax in the US because it's a so-called pass-through entity, and that means the income passes directly through the company to the owner, and taxes are only paid where the owner is personally a tax resident. So let's say you live in a high-tax country like Canada, the UK, Australia, or parts of Europe. Even if you leave the money inside your US LLC, you will still pay tax on it personally as if it was your own income. But here's the key: if you live in a country with 0% personal income tax like Paraguay or Dubai, or if you have no tax residency at all, which is the case for many people who don't spend more than 6 months per year in any one country, then you legally pay 0 tax. So why? Because if your country doesn't tax your income, neither does the US, and your LLC is fully tax-free, so no personal income tax, no dividend tax, 0. And if you want to go even further, you could set up your LLC so that it's not owned by you, but by a trust in a 0% tax jurisdiction, and that way your structure stays tax-free no matter where you personally move in the future. Of course, it's a more advanced setup, and we can talk about that later once you have become a client of Global Freedom Solutions and are ready to build a more robust international structure. But your first step is simple: book a call with us below this video. Let's talk about your situation and get you started on your tax-free journey. See you on the call. I'm looking forward to it.